do you feel something huge on the horizon?
Oh, absolutely. We're in for very big changes with the changes of the nodes and as a collective. We've been talking about this a lot in the ISFM in our morning group that we need to make room for what's coming in, because what's coming in is not what we're used to. And we have to be open to that change. And what is it with most people? We resist change, because it's fear. We'd rather stick with what we know, even if it's toxic sometimes, because we know how to navigate that. Toxic is familiar, and as sick as that sounds, we tend to do that a lot of times as people. It's like, because people are like, why do people always go back to their ex? Or why do they stay in that bad relationship? Because, again, with these weird word analogies, the devil you know is better than the devil you know.
Welcome to another rendition of Witchcraft TV Tarot. I'm the Lone Wolf, and we have our gifted tarot card reader and psychic medium in the building, Lady Selena. How are you doing, lady?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. The weather's picking up. Hell, Ra. The sun is growing. We're growing in power, and it looks like the old Oak King is losing a little bit of momentum. And the Holly King is seeking revenge for the battle.
I remember doing I think it was a ritual on Zoom many moons ago with that when I was with the Corellians, and I can't remember if I was the Oak King or I can't remember which one it was, but we had so much fun going backwards and forwards, on that script, kind of getting the energy up. It was a lot of fun. I kind of miss that kind of surging of energy we get. But summer spring and then summer is coming. You have been warned.
Yeah, you've definitely been warned. There's about to be a battle on the horizon. Yeah, there's about to be a battle. And I'm glad that battle's taking place, because it's frigid out there and it's been cold, and it's about to really warm up for sure.
We've had an average of 20 degrees here. It's not too bad.
So, Lady Selena bringing mystical talents to the Witchcraft TV platform, offering free readings to all who seek guidance. Readings are designed to help maintain the platform to keep us on air in a reciprocity of services. So I just want to put that out there. It is to continue the accessibility and growth of the Witchcraft TV network, and we kindly invite you to consider making a donation sponsorship. Your generous support will help us maintain and expand our platform. Our platform is fair representation for all paths, all magic, and all witches and pagans. In the chat room, we have Rob Abbott. Rob Abbott, how you doing? Special shout outs to you both. Good juju as well. We look forward to having Rob on here shortly. Absolutely. Cheryl in the chat room. Cold in Sacramento, California, USA too. Yeah, we're so happy that, the Holly King wants revenge, and we want him to, because it is frigid, it is cold, and it is warming up a little bit. Absolutely.
We had one day when it was 30 degrees, just one. Now it's back into the 20s.
So if you're just tuning in on www.witchcrafttv.online, our platform is fair representation of all pagan witches and magic paths. It can be found on the ticker tape down on the bottom on a website. We are streaming Witchcraft TV all the time, every day, 365 a year. We also have Pagan Music TV, Witchy Kids Network, and our online magazine and blog, the Witchcraft Herald. It looks like the chat room. Namaste. Well, namaste to you. The divinity in us as a collective of Witchcraft TV see the divinity in you. So absolutely, merry meet, and namaste to you too, Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining us today on this Sunday, day of the sun. Hail Ra, hail Ra.
The power of the sun. Actually, the power of Lucifer, the God Force, the Sun King, Lord of the Wheel. I think many people, I had so much, the first time I did a live stream on where I covered Lucifer being the aspect of the sun, people were like, oh my gosh, she's a Satanist. I'm like, no, but okay.
So in the chat room, Cheryl says, I was reading evergreen scent is good for abundance spells, good to use during cold weather. You ever heard of evergreen scent?
Yeah. Yes, I have. It's good for nurturing. It's good for kind of setting the wheels in motion for the year ahead. And we have a card request. All right. You're sick. That's not good.
Yeah, we definitely wish you well and bestow the healing qualities towards you in will. Benders of will we may be collectively, would like to send that towards Rob that he may get well.
All right, so I do have a card for you. So without further ado, Six of Cups. The Six of Cups. If you can't see it, let me get that closer to the screen.
When you put it closer to your chest there, you can see a little bit better with the background. Yes, Six of Cups.
The Six of Cups. All right, let's talk the Six of Cups. Yeah, it's good for prosperity. Very good. And also for cleansing your home. So yeah, good point there. This card is a card of the past. Sometimes we have to go back to the past to see the beginning, right? Sometimes it's best to just go home and get some strength and rejuvenation. This is a card that reminds you of times where you were happy, times when you were happy being a child. This card is also a card that is regenerative. You know, once you spend time in reflection, you go back and forth. You know, as we look in our past, there are times that made us happy, even though we may have been sick. There are moments there which can really realign your thoughts, can really give you an energy boost. Remembering favorite haunts, no pun intended, remembering even favorite food. There's a part of us that loves nostalgia. There really is. And there's a part of us that wishes that we could get back to being young, even though we can in a mind's eye. This is card also creation. So creation of making your health manifest, making yourself feel stronger. A lot comes within you. I think a lot of times when people kind of think about getting health and all of this, this is a card that kind of reminds us that it's okay to reach out. It's okay to ask others for help. It's okay to ask neighbors for some assistance, right? Your life may need to slow down. That's another way to look at this card. Sometimes in life, we have to slow down. We have to kind of take time off to remember what it is that we wanted to do. This card is also a card of stress. So stress really is a pain in the ass because everybody has it. But sometimes if we don't address the stress, if we don't address the issues in our minds, then we're just going to become sicker. So it's not a bad card as such, but it is a youthfulness card. It's one of those, it's kind of reminding you of the past, and the past is never truly done. The past is there in memories. And at the same time, try to figure out what stresses you have in your life. And I know this is going to sound so hallmark and so cliche, but self-care. The way in which I did it the other day on a stream, which was a method taught to me, especially after all I've been through, is 5 things. So 5 things you can hear, 5 things you can see, 5 things you can taste, 5 things you can touch, and 5 things that you can smell. If you remember all 5 of those, walk around your house, just take some time out and just de-stress. So again, 5 things you can see, 5 things you can touch, 5 things you can smell, 5 things you can taste, and 5 things you can hear. So hopefully that helps you. And I hope you feel better soon.
We welcome Vesta Millard for watching Witchcraft TV Tarot. Thank you so much for stopping by. And it looks like John Abbott has said, let's see where we go here. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate you all. We appreciate you too, Rob, and we look forward to having you on as a reader here very shortly. Very shortly.
Join us. We have cookies, I think, maybe.
So the opening was with Joanne from the lovely show Inside the Sacred Circle. She also does Joyful Empowerment. She does a show on Witchcraft TV Tarot a little later in the evening on 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And she is a skilled and adept psychologist with a master's degree in psychology. And she's also throwing cards. So make sure you check her out. And right here on Witchcraft TV Tarot tomorrow evening as well. We also have new readers on Friday, this Friday, with a lovely priestess that the pagan community knows very well and a very big surprise. So look forward to that. We were talking with somebody across the pond in England, and we're still working on that. So at the moment, we have another opening for Thursday. So we're just kind of networking with that. Good juju to sweet friends, says Rob. You as well, kind one, you as well. And we hope that you get lots of cookies. We hope you, well, we have cookies. We have inspiration to add. We have good vibes to give and good advice to bestow to humanity with the wisest people that I can find with various forms of divination right here on Witchcraft TV Tarot.
And next up, we have Cheryl W. Smith. May I have a reading for my husband, Jeremy, to please? He is very ill. Yes, of course you can. I will do my best to see if I can help you. All right. So we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. This is a card of strength. No, seriously, strength. This is a card that reminds us that no matter how sick we are, no matter what we go through in our life, we're stronger than we give ourselves credit for. This is a card that teaches the downside, though. Sometimes we forget things. Sometimes we take on too much, which causes us to kind of get sick. When we take on a lot of things, right, what happens is we become overwhelmed. I've been overwhelmed plenty of times. Trust me, it really is a pain. On the good side, this is a card that overcomes illness, This is one of those cards, right, that once you get it, it's like, oh, the light at the end of the tunnel, right? That's kind of the easy way to describe it. Have all of this energy, everything is chaotic, you're sick or whatever the situation is, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is going to be health, it's going to be happiness, it's going to be a chance to kind of settle down and then restart everything. I remember when I got really sick ages ago, and it turned out I was doing too much with not enough time to do everything. And so when we go through these times, this card will appear to say, you know what, you might be sick now, but there's a light, and that light comes from you. And that light is going to be a healthy light. So it's a highly feminine card, obviously, because it's a queen. But queens also represent the divine mother. Queen represents this idea of divine femininity. And in femininity, we have energy. We have the ability to heal others just by being close to them, just by offering us support, whether it's a kind ear, whether it's making food, whatever the situation is. We have the ability to reach out as mothers and just to care for each other.
So it looks like Cheryl said, may I have a reading for my husband, Jeremy, too, please? He is very ill, too.
That was the one I just did.
Right. So sorry about that. In the chat room, Rob, good juju to sweet friends. Cheryl with magical cookies. And absolutely, I guess that's the theme for the show today is magical cookies, bestowing magical cookies to our wonderful pagan community and family here on Witchcraft TV. In the chat room, Vesta Millard, love the insight that Lady Selena provides. I enjoy learning even more about tarot. Love cookies too.
Thank you.
Rob Abbott might get the special kind of cookies in the right region.
It's got a special flavor. I would love a card reading. All right. I love it when people are kind of really wanting to jump in to readings. His Venus is in Cancer. Okay.
Special shout out to Clive that's watching, joining us. Thank you so much for watching Witchcraft TV Tarot. In the chat room, he is Venus in Cancer. Thank you so much, and namaste to you too. Our divinity recognizes the divinity in you as well.
All right. So next up, reading is Tiger Mary Smith. Let's do this. This is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands. Oh boy, it's going to be a fun one. We live in a time where there is a lot of chaos everywhere. There is a lot of two sides, right? One side wants one thing, another side wants another thing. This is what we like to call in spirituality the stand your ground. You are going to, your own personal beliefs and your own personal kind of way of being defines who you are. Sometimes we die on, we pick the hill that we're going to die on, right? This is a card that also teaches you that sometimes it's best not to enter the foray. You know, when we stand up for our beliefs, sometimes it can be very emotional. We live in a society where right now people are not thinking logically. They're not using their heads. What they're using is just, I don't know, the 10-second snippet of news by the talking heads. So this is a card that defines someone as pretty much, you know what your beliefs are. You're going to stand up for those beliefs no matter what. It is a card of steadfast determination as well. We are faced with a very challenging time, not just for gender, but for magic. We're faced with the likelihood of more people kind of attacking witches left, right, and center, doing all the hacking and everything. This is a card where we have to decline, or we have to not decline. We have to not boast, but we have to define what our strength of will is, how to fight properly, how to fight ethically, how to stand firm against a world that may or may not believe our way of life. Steadfast determination. Oh my, not really termination, but determination. Let's go with that one instead.
Like to give a shout out to Tammy Alden joining us on Witchcraft TV Tarot. Thank you so much for watching us and our services to the pagan community. And today we give you cookies.
Special cookies. You've got the special part. The the 7 cookies of doom. No, just kidding. We have cookies. My pleasure, Tiger Mary Smith. I hope that kind of helped.
Absolutely. So we are watching Witchcraft TV Tarot. This is a platform of www.witchcrafttv.online, where we are fair representation for all pagan, witch, and magic paths. And we have an array of different tarot card readers. On Saturday and Sunday, we have the lovely Lady Selena, also a published author. On can you talk about your book? What's the name of your book?
Medium 365 is the name of the book. It was a book about a day and a year. It was pretty much one day at a time, how to be a medium.
Mm-hmm. In the chat room, Sarah Cash with, I would like a card if I may. And please do keep in mind that if you can put your zodiac, your sun sign in the comments, or your birth date, that helps us better tap into the current in astrological makeup and planetary and celestial associations with your reading, which helps with the readings.
Yes, it does. Everything kind of helps. I can do a universal card. I'll do that after I do this next card. Or depending on what this card is, we could probably do it at the same time, because I'm efficient like that, only sometimes. And it's also Sunday, so I'm super efficient. All right. Might actually help if my computer would stop freezing every 2 seconds when I'm trying to do things, which is a bit annoying because I have too much on this computer. existential crisis. Sorry. All right, hold on. I'm now unfrozen, which is good. So let's do this, shall we? All right. Are you ready? King of Wands. So hold on. So this card, I guess it could also be a universal card as well, to kind of go into everything. So let's do it. The King of Wands. Bless be for me now. Do you have Venmo for tips? No, I don't have Venmo. But King of Wands. This is a card of energy. This is a card of self-confidence. Why I can use this as a universal card is we, the Wiccan community, are not going to go quietly into the night. This is a rebellion card. This is kind of the King of Wands devoting his energy, teaching others how to live their best life, life in the fast lane, right? Which is something that the King of Wands kind of goes into indirectly. This is a card of being us. We're fearless. We're not going to just get, I don't know. We're not going to get pushed around by people. We're really not. This is a card that helps us to open our minds to see the new normal that we currently have to live in. And yeah, true. The King of Wands is a bit of a hothead, but most of us are, I think, right? All of us come to the table with our own ideas of how we want to do things, right? So maybe the King of Wands is one of those cards that's like, yep, people have got the attitude, right? We're trying to work out why that is in Arabic. Interesting. It's kind of catchy. Okay. This is a card of energy. So it's positive energy. It's moving forwards. We are the revolution. Witchcraft is not going anywhere. The pagan world is not going to go anywhere. So this is a positive card. Go forth, have an adventure in your life. Seek out new things. Go on a brand new quest. There's a lot that you can do if you give yourself credit and time to do it. So hopefully that helped.
Thank you so much for that. There's some activity in the chat room here. Let's see. Blessed B from Reno, Nevada, longtime supporter. Jamie Lynn Denton, glad to have you watching Witchcraft TV. Let's see. Cheryl, laugh out loud. We are in the age of Aquarius. We certainly are in the age of Aquarius. And, as part of the astrological makeup, particularly with the Chinese, January 31st, I believe, we enter the realm of the wood snake. So lots of shedding of skins and new things going to be happening. So yeah, I think the age of Aquarius is going to rock in 2025. And we're going to have lots of cookies too.
Yes, we will. And here is the universal card. Oh boy. So your question was specifically on Trump or just in general? I was trying to work out what you meant by a universal card there. All right, let's do it. The devil. I'm not even going to say Trump's name in this together, but we are children of the media, right? We've all grown up with social media, and it has become a very big addiction where news stories can both be true and false at the same time. This is a warning card that we are currently living in a very addictive time where people are tuning into social media. They're overacting and overreacting, to be honest. This is a warning that sometimes our addictions to things come with a severe response, that we're being distracted, and I get it, people are not happy with the administration. I mean, for obvious reasons. As a transgender woman, am I happy with it? No, I'm not. But I'm not addicted enough to the media, right? I'm not always listening to the news because I know the pitfalls. I know the dangers from it. When we're addicted to something, it can make you see the world as you think it looks like, right? Especially all of the bad side. When it comes to Trump, oh boy, I have to be careful here because I don't want like Secret Service knocking at my door. That'd be really annoying because Sam will start barking. Christopher Peebles says social media causes social deception. Media because scholars it's social interactions with each other. I realize, yeah, social media is it's a world inside a world. And within social media, right, we have a whole big ass community and everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon, right? You hear about all of these people that go out and they support LGBTQ without actually realizing what they're supporting. I've been a member of the LGBTQ for a very long time, and it's changed over the years. And so far, and currently, or leading up to this date, we have a lot of people joining who are not even within that sphere, within that world. But with social media, it has become an entity. It's living, it's breathing. And so, yeah, when we get addicted to it, we also get swayed by the deception. And there is a lot of deception. Politics is the game of deception, right? Politicians saying one thing, doing another thing. The story is as old as the hills. When I was in the UK, we would always look at American politics as a show. Nothing ever really gets done. It's a show. And when it's a show, people are acting the part, they're playing the role. And then behind camera, they're completely different people. With the devil card, it's teaching you these are the addictions that are going on. Our young, our kids, right? I mean, I don't have kids, but our young in American culture is besieged by this art of deception, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And because of it, there is a lot of hate online. There is a lot of people who say the wrong things and then really regret it. So a universal card for the US, the devil. We're all being swayed by the court of popular opinion. We're all being told one thing and, you know, the other is true. Before we went live, I was talking with Harold and I was mentioning I had an old friend and we grew apart because I had been lied to. And after realizing this now, I see the world differently. I see a different perspective. Do I regret my actions? Yeah. But this is the devil card. And I'm not going to name names because it's not my brand to name names, but I will say we were having a really good discussion. And I kind of pointed out, I've grown up a lot. I've been in social media for a very long time. I was not really thinking straight when I got swayed into one direction. And the thing is now it's a case of rebuilding those bridges, right? Cheryl W. Smith also in the LGBT. Yeah, there are a lot of people in the LGBTQ alliance that are just fed up with people who are posing. Like, I'm a real transgender woman. Would I go out and wear women's clothes? No, I don't wear makeup. What you see is what you get with me. But where it goes wrong for us is we have members who are just really milking the role, right? Going back to the devil card, they all kind of overplay the role so that now that role has become saturated. When people hear like transgender woman, they picture somebody in like women's clothes and going using their restrooms. I don't kind of do any of that, but I'm a proud member of the LGBTQ Alliance. Christopher says politics is used to maintain the egregores of fear and mob mentality and groupthink and negativity. We can starve those. Yeah. This idea of mob mentality is what's also affecting religion. It's affecting paganism in a big way. The way the Christian, I'm trying not to be mean, but the way certain religions have seen us as pagans, it's all about spreading fear, right? You hear the word pagan and some weird preacher somewhere down south is going to be a bit like, oh my gosh, they dance with snakes and they do this. No, we don't. But there is a lot of mob mentality. I will tell you right now that society in America is terrified of the mob coming for them, right? With the, I'm sure you remember the story of Frankenstein and that kind of that big meme with all the villagers with the pitchforks and all of that coming to get you with the burning torches. Only when you look at Frankenstein's monster, what he did, he was a child. He didn't know any better, right? But we don't think like that. We think how society kind of thinks okay, if we just go with the mob, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be cool. I got swayed into that. I got banned on YouTube actually because of it. I was doing reactionary videos and YouTube decided, oh yeah, can't have transgender women saying that kind of stuff. So I know for a fact mob mentality really sucks. Groupthink is a major pain, but with groupthink, if you get it right, it can kind of work. But 9 out of 10 times, it is not going to work. Cheryl Smith says, I know transgenders too that have had the surgery or going to have it. I'm still going to be doing an interview with Harold on this, but I might as well talk about it. Surgery. I've been on estrogen now for 4 years. My hips have changed. My chest has changed, even though I tried to wear lots of baggy clothes, right? The risks of the surgery, top surgery is fine, right? So if that's your thing, top surgery is one thing. The bottom surgery is where the danger is, because what doctors won't tell you is the amount of issues you are going to have. I was going to have bottom surgery maybe about a year ago. And then my doctor's like, oh yeah, these are the side effects. So do you have to have the surgery? No. I live quite happily as a transgender woman. I'm not going to do the surgery, but you can be happy without it. Oh,
we welcome Alex Kruger, prestigious pagan musician, to the Witchcraft TV Tarot. We're going to take a quick, small commercial break about a new show right here on Witchcraft TV, and it's going to be happening very shortly. And we're going to be interviewing Kristen Day with WitchCon on that debut on that show. We'll be right back. Keep the comments coming. If you would like a reading, put them in the chat room. We'll be right back. And keep it right here on Witchcraft TV Tarot.
Merry meet and welcome to Festival Fun on Witchcraft TV, where we talk about paganism, witchcraft, spiritual festivals, conventions, and other gatherings. These events are a wonderful way to learn about magical practices, to participate in rituals, and meet like-minded people. It's a whole lot of fun. With your host, A.C. Fisher and Harold Sanford Carter III. Welcome to Festival Fun.
Do y'all know about Witchcraft TV online? I've been watching that the last couple days. Constantly going, learning interesting stuff, and it turns out apparently I have a show there at midnight every night at Witchcraft TV.online. Witchcraft TV.online. Check that out. I'm gonna tune in at midnight and see what it is I'm doing there.
Welcome back to Witchcraft TV Tarot. This is the Sunday version with Lady Selena. And today we're talking about cookies. And we're going to get right to the chat room here. Rob Abbott, would some of us dance with snakes? Today is the day of Damballa. I think that's the right pronunciation. His color is white, and he is retested by a large snake. His feast day is St. Patrick's Day. Cheryl, awesome Rob, represented. Cheryl says there's a local Druids Imbolc event today. Oh, absolutely. Imbolc is a special time. Hail, Bridget. Even the Catholics had to say that she was our saint and she is our goddess. So hail, Bridget, for that. The light is coming. Cheryl, in the chat room, is there a show scheduled published on the group page? I'm not sure what show that you're talking about, Cheryl, but yes, there's always the latest developments are on the group page, and we also have a Witchcraft TV admin, Aggie Vanderpool, and there's quite a lot of information about what happens with updated content and information about the station on www.witchcrafttv.online. We are also in Aquarius season. With that being said, thoughts, Lady Selena?
We are in an age of thinking and reason, and I think a lot of people are slowly waking up, and a lot of people have begun to come back home to paganism because it makes the most logical sense, right? They've tried all the other religions, and now with the age of Aquarius, people are now thinking, people are now reaching out, they're now going back home, which is something that it's kind of unique in psychology. When we tell people go back to your roots, what we really mean is sometimes we go back to what works. We've tried everything else, and the only thing left is to come back home to paganism. It's a great season. It really is. As for Druids, I love the Druids. So chances are there is a lot of events going on today, especially for Druidry.
In the chat room here, let's see. Cheryl's asking about the Witchcraft TV schedule. Yeah, we have a schedule up, which is a meme. It has Monday through Sunday of what goes on right after Witchcraft TV Tarot. I will find you here in the chat room, and I will send it to you personally. We also have every night, there is usually a video talking about the upcoming shows, etc. But yeah, there is a schedule, and I'll get that right to you right after the show.
Keep your comments coming. I don't bite. Oh, wait, I do. There's a funny story about that. Age of Aquarius is going to be through, it's a new season, technically, for all humans, right? Every single age that's come and passed last decades, but every single age is a rise and fall of civilization. When society wakes up or goes dormant, when society goes to war or advocates for peace. But with the age of Aquarius, what's made it so unique is we kind of messed up as humans. The sheer amount of death stalled the machine of death, right? It totally crushed the veil. So now we are in an age where we are surrounded by another world. Something that I spoke about when it actually happened was when you overloaded the system of death, you're now living with the spirits. It's just now we are more aware of them than we ever have been.
I would like to add to that the Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius is going to be through 2043. I didn't really know that date. I think the date is very interesting. I'm glad that you had mentioned that, Cheryl. What I do know about the Age of Aquarius is one of the writings from Alistair Crowley in his Book of the Law. That is a big book concerning the OTO. But when he wrote about it, he and it's all about interpretation too, because Crowley was a master of giving information and having you pick up puzzles and put pieces together. But what I've gathered with that is that we had a patriarch, and then we shifted into like the matriarch. And I feel in discernment, and I could be wrong, I'm just a seeker, not adept in any particular occultic philosophy at all. But I think the Age of Aquarius has a lot to do with Horus and restoring a sense of balance. That's not necessarily been, humanity's observation. We've had the matriarch, we've had the patriarch, and all hail to the matriarch. But I think balance is in the future of what is the Age of Aquarius. And hail, Horus, do you have anything to add to that, Lady Selena?
Yeah. And I might piggyback off what Cheryl just said in the chat because of the Trump chaos. Yeah. Everything that's happened since the inauguration has really unbalanced everyone. There is a lot of chaos. Yeah. 100% chaos. Horus is the great balancer, right? Horus believes in unifying everyone. And I think right now in society, everybody is after everything, right? People just want to fight. People want a second civil war. They want a second chance at the kind of, it's almost as if it's watching people getting completely intoxicated and then having a massive brawl. You know it's likely to happen, but you wish that they'd all go home or get an Uber home or something, right? There is a lot of chaos. Yeah. American society is not balanced. And I think Horus, eventually we are going to get balance. There's only so much until the divine steps in and resets the scales. But for right now, I would say the scales are completely unbalanced. People are acting out. People are not being themselves. They're just kind of getting caught up in this intoxicating fever that people have, where everybody's itching for a fight. Everybody's attacking the news media. They're attacking families. They're attacking everyone. So yeah, will change ever occur? Possibly, but it's going to take a lot for the human race just to calm down. In fact, it will take a lot for American society to calm down, because everybody just wants to fight. And it's one of the things I learned about American culture is instead of doing things peacefully, they prefer to do things the old-fashioned way, right? Rolling up the sleeves and getting down and dirty. And yeah, Trump unleashed ICE. Yeah, that was always going to happen. But that's also done is spread a great deal of fear. I mean, I live in Chicago, and I will tell you that there is a lot of fear that there is within the communities in which I live. Everybody's kind of like wondering who's next to get deported. It's not a good way to live. You can't expect people who have voted for you or people who have just tried to make ends meet fearful. And that's not the way society should be. You've unleashed the kind of army, right? And what are you going to do up against armed people? Your options very limited. So yeah, there is a lot of chaos. You don't have to be a medium or anyone to just see the damage that it's done in our communities.
Yeah. And most of the time on the Witchcraft TV platform, I tend to shift away from politics because it's a very divisive conversation within the pagan community. And, we've had enough divisive things happen in the community. However, let the record show that we know as a collective what is safer for contemporary witchcraft. We know what people is beneficial, for the trajectory, for the future of witchcraft, of Wicca, of paganism. So, that's definitely acknowledged. Shout out to Tiger Marie Smith. Thank you for watching the Witchcraft TV Tarot show. And thank you so much for being one of our benefactors. Cheryl in the chat room, if chaos ends up in positive change, then great. We're talking about the age of Aquarius. We were talking about kind of Horus. And I almost feel like Horus, the spirit of Horus itself, is in discernment. Is it possible that that's actually like a token of the child of promise? Is that going to be a thing? And I think if the child of promise bestows upon humanity, I think it very well could come before that date of the end of the age of Aquarius. I think somebody said it up here in the comments here. It'd be interesting. I'd have to double back and research that, but definitely a good finding, definitely good conversation. So yeah.
Yeah, here at Witchcraft TV, we're about building community. We want you to be a part of it, but at the same time, we're aware. We'll say that if it's for the greater good. I believe that even the greatest villain can do the greatest good, and the greatest good can produce the greatest heroes and villains at the same time. Mm-hmm. If we have to go through chaos, I remember as a historian, the reign of Caligula and the reign of Nero, two of the most controversial emperors of all time. Nero actually never played his violin. On the day that Rome began to burn, he wasn't even in Rome. He went back to Rome for about a night, then fled. Caligula, right? We had this emperor that was just totally and completely crazy. But yeah, it did spawn change. If you look at how civilizations have responded to great times of chaos, every civilization grows, every civilization changes. From the old comes the new. So we had this whole idea of the greater good. I think we have to have the greater evil to get the greater good. That's the way kind of the universe wants to play things. It's a bit like, hey, we're going to give you some pain, and then now we're going, now we can be happy, right? Job done. A bit like ripping off a band-aid. You know you want to, and you know the old-fashioned saying, do you prefer to just rip it gently or slowly? So yeah, chaos ending in positive change. Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
And I do send pagan prayers and good wishes. You know, we do understand on Witchcraft TV about the political shifting. We understand all of that. And we're coming in an age where, you know, it's time to protect our archives. I mean, in the old days, we used to be books of shadows. You know, in the new days, it's now we've come into a digital age. So let's start putting those archives, you know, and storing them where they cannot be found, and integrate them, you know, away in tiny little devices, into flash drives, into, you know, computers. You know, computers are the bigger forms of flash drives. You know, put them on the cloud, you know, store them so our future generation can be blessed with the knowledge that is being so easily surfaced, you know, with the collective consciousness with the aid of technology.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cheryl in the chat room, have faith in the universe. Absolutely. If it's for the greatest good. We're getting at the top of the hour. We've had a great show. We started having cookies, and we get into the shift. We talked about a little bit of LGBTQ plus, and which we're going to have a great interview with Lady Selena later on the network about the trials and tribulations of what it's really like, you know, in that particular slant. And I think it's going to be a great message for that community. And we are a safe place for all. Tiger Marie Smith in the chat room, heading to GoFundMe to contribute. Thank you so much for your sponsorship and benefactor. You've been very supportive for that. And it's folks like you that keep us on air and keep our archives keep going, and, you know, blessings to you for that. Thank you very much. Lady Selena, would you like to close us out with pagan prayers based on the curriculum and topics that we had today on the show? And before we do that, I want to say, make sure y'all join us tomorrow night with Joanne from Inside the Sacred Circle in Joyful Empowerment. She has a master's degree in psychology, and she'll be throwing tarot cards with her show on Witchcraft TV Tarot called Mind, Body, and Soul. Can you close us out with pagan prayer, Lady Selena?
Of course. Brothers and sisters, our community of like-minded individuals, no matter what path you may take, we humbly ask and pray. We pray for our nation. We pray for our communities. We pray for all those around us. We pray for peace. We pray for stability. We pray for an end to violence, wherever violence may be. And in the name of the Holy Mother Hecate, and in the name of the Lord of the Sun, Lucifer, may you all be blessed. Go forth, walk in the vaulted light of peace. And until we meet again, we acclaim, as above, so below. As the universe, so the soul. As the soul, so the mind. As the mind, so the body. Merry meet, merry part. And until we meet again, may you all blessed be.
Blessed be, so mote it be. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night. So keep it right here on Witchcraft TV. We are fair representation for all witch, pagan, and magic paths. Do you feel something huge on the horizon?
Oh, absolutely. We're in for very big changes with the changes of the nodes, and as a collective. We've been talking about this a lot in the ISFM in our morning group, that we need to make room for what's coming in, because what's coming in is not what we're used to. And we have to be open to that change. And what is it with most people? We resist change, because it's fear. We'd rather stick with what we know, even if it's toxic sometimes, because we know how to navigate that. Toxic is familiar, and as sick as that sounds, we tend to do that a lot of times as people. It's like, because people are like, why do people always go back to their ex? Or why do they stay in that bad relationship? Because, again, with these weird word analogies, the devil you know is better than the devil you know.